infinite banking doesn't work unless. Are you looking for the reasons why infinite banking doesn't work but you don't know where to start? By the end of this video, you'll know about 3 elements needed to create a policy for max cash value. Without them, it won't work. Hi, my name is Sunny Mitra. For the best advice on infinite banking and finances, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time we upload new videos. The paralysis of analysis can really get in the way when it comes to you trying to make a decision for yourself. Therefore, we have created the video for you so that we can do all the heavy lifting, and we want to make sure that you are able to make an educated decision when it comes to choosing the right policy for you and your family. So let's get into it. These 3 elements that we are going to go over are the most important elements that you need to take into consideration, because it doesn't make sense for you to proceed with getting a policy unless and until you have the first 3 elements covered. Element number 1. You want to make sure your agent has experience in designing policies for max cash value, and that entails knowing exactly how to create a policy for your specific needs. So you want to be able to give him or her what you want to get accomplished or your goals, and they create a policy specifically for you. So just a few questions you want to ask your agents is: do you have a policy designed for max cash value? What are some of the elements that you put into it to make it specifically for me, and what are some things you utilize your policy for? Do you have one on yourself? The thing I want to stress is you want to make sure you have someone that understands exactly what they are doing. They actually have experience in creating policies for max cash value, because you don't necessarily want someone that is going to design your traditional whole life insurance policy telling you that they can create more cash value, because for one, they may not have one of their own and they don't necessarily understand the nuances that it entails. For you to understand it clearly, we have created a video that came out last week named The Good, Bad and Ugly of Infinite Banking. I strongly recommend you watch it to understand exactly what we are talking about. This is a very unique video because it compares in between 2 policies, one which is a basic whole life policy and the other which is built on the concept of infinite banking. If you are serious about venturing out into the world of infinite banking, you would be benefited greatly by this video. Element number 2. You want to make sure you adhere to the cardinal rule of investing, which says pay yourself first. The way it works is every time you get a paycheck, you keep aside a certain amount of money for yourself before you start paying your bills, because you owe it to yourself, which is why you pay yourself first. If you want to learn the source of this principle, here it is. The Richest Man in Babylon is a 1926 classic by George Clason that dispenses financial advice through a collection of parables set 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon. The book remains in print almost a century after the parables were originally published and is regarded as a classic of personal financial advice. Read it if you haven't already. You will thank me. When you start saving some money by paying yourself first, you put yourself way ahead most of the people who don't know how to handle their finances. And the best way to pay yourself first is to make an automated system. Well, every time you get paid, 10% or 20% of your paycheck is taken out and deposited right in your savings account. This one simple habit will get you 90% closer to your financial freedom, I assure you. Element number 3. You want to make sure you have the right reason to start an infinite banking policy. As they say, if you have a why, you will find a how. Let me share with you a story of a young entrepreneur, but before that, let me first get those points explaining why it is so important to have the right reason. In fact, what happens is, if you have the right reason, if you want it badly, that will create some discipline in your life. With the discipline, the whole process of paying yourself first will become easy. People always make the mistake of putting the discipline first and the reasoning second, which unfortunately doesn't work that way. Unless you have a why, you cannot achieve any worthwhile goal in your life. Second, if you have a strong urge to find something, you will start educating yourself. You will do some research and learn about infinite banking, and by doing so, you will minimize the mistakes that would have happened otherwise. You will be very clear about your direction. And third, your intense desire will propel you towards the direction of becoming your own banker. Now the story about our 19-year-old real estate investor who came to me last week and told her story. She and her husband are into buying houses and they want to implement infinite banking into it. She said, "Sunny, we have already read the book by Mr. Nelson Nash, Becoming Your Own Banker, and also have been watching your videos for a while. Now we come to you for designing a maximum cash value whole life insurance policy based on the infinite banking concept." Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you the amount of happiness it gave me by witnessing it. Because real estate is one of the best ways to amass wealth, and if you infuse the infinite banking element into it, you just put it on steroids. But the best of all, which really touched my heart, is that she is only 19 years old. Above all, it's not merely a wish for them. They already have acquired a couple of properties underneath their belt. How far do you think she will go in her life? I leave it up to you to decide. Now, if you like this video, let us know by liking it and leaving a comment for us with your experiences regarding infinite banking or finances in general. Make sure you share it with a friend and subscribe to our channel. And remember to own your tomorrow by converting liabilities into assets.